Before I start, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more real, raw stories like mine. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you do in my situation. I still remember the exact moment the first seed of doubt crept into my mind. It wasn't a fight, not yet. It was a small, almost imperceptible things. A phone left face down on the table, a laugh a little too light for the room she was in, the way her eyes darted away when I asked a simple question. I told myself I was imagining it. I wanted to believe it. I had to, because the woman I loved, my wife, was everything to me. It started with missed calls. She'd shrugged them off as work calls, saying she was tired, stressed, busy. I tried to be patient, tried to convince myself I was overthinking. But then I noticed the hidden messages, the ones that popped up for a second before she locked her phone. A name I didn't recognize, little snippets. Can't wait tonight, and you know what I mean. My chest would tighten every time, but I still hesitated. I didn't want to accuse her without proof. I didn't want to destroy what we had, what I thought we had. Weeks went by, and the tension built quietly in our home. I watched her more closely, hoping I was wrong. She came home late more often, dressed differently, her perfume unfamiliar. Even the way she smiled seemed rehearsed, like she was playing a role I couldn't understand. I tried to talk to her. "Everything okay?" I'd ask, and she'd wave me off. "I'm just tired, really." But I wasn't blind. Something was off. And somewhere deep down, I knew I had to act. That Friday night, she told me she was going out for dinner with friends. She laughed when I suggested staying in, kissed me lightly on the cheek, and left. I watched her car disappear down the street, a strange mix of relief and dread settling in my chest. I had made a decision I never thought I'd make. I was going to serve her the divorce papers, not out of anger, not yet, but because I needed to know if our marriage meant the same to her as it did to me. I needed clarity, no matter how painful. I followed her at a distance to the restaurant, seeing her there, sitting across from a man whose hand occasionally brushed hers. I felt my stomach drop into a pit I didn't know existed. My mind raced, spinning excuses, hoping for some innocent explanation. But when she saw me standing outside the restaurant, papers in hand, her eyes widened, not in surprise at seeing me, but in panic. That split-second look, that flash of guilt, was everything I needed to know. I walked in slowly, my hands shaking. She looked at me, and for a moment, I thought she might apologize, explain, beg. Instead, she smiled, a smile so casual, so practiced, it shattered something inside me. "You're here," she said lightly, as if our lives were still normal, as if the papers I held weren't a testament to my breaking heart. I handed them over, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. "These are the divorce papers," I said. "I can't do this anymore if you can't be honest with me." And then she did something that will haunt me forever. She leaned over, kissed the man across from her, and whispered something in his ear. A laugh, a touch, a comfort that wasn't mine to give. She didn't look at me, not once. And in that moment, all the memories, the late-night talks, the quiet mornings, the dreams we shared, turned bitter in my mouth. Every "I love you" I had believed and felt like a lie. I turned and walked out, not because I was cowardly, but because staying would have meant screaming, fighting, begging her to see what I already knew. I had loved her with everything I had, and now I had to love myself enough to walk away. On the drive home, my hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles burned. I thought of all the small moments, the little gestures I had cherished, the late-night breakfast, the way she used the hum while cooking. They were all tainted now. Memories that once brought comfort now edged with betrayal. I questioned myself endlessly. Could I have seen it sooner? Should I have done something differently? But the truth was always there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for me to acknowledge it. By the time I got home, the storm inside me had quieted into a hollow calm. I placed the papers on the kitchen counter, sat down, and allowed myself to feel everything: grief, anger, heartbreak, and eventually clarity. The love I had for her didn't disappear overnight, but I realized that some love isn't enough when trust is gone. That night, I didn't call her, I didn't chase her. I didn't beg for explanations or apologies. I just sat with my thoughts, learning the hardest lesson of all. Self-respect isn't something you fight for. It's something you reclaim quietly, painfully, alone. I don't know what will happen next in her life. I don't care. What matters now is that I won't let someone else's choices define my worth or my happiness. And maybe someday I'll look back and remember the love without bitterness, knowing that walking away was the only thing I could do for myself. So if you're listening to this, think about what you would do. Could you walk away when someone you love betrayed you? Or would you fight until the end? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear them. And remember, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more stories that dig deep into heartbreak, betrayal, and the messy human truth of love.